The Antarctic wind howled, a banshee wail that rattled the ice above the last human shipyard. Zara Kade stood in the cavernous hangar, her breath fogging in the sub-zero air as she welded a seam on the Defiant's hull. The ship, part human salvage, part scavenged Vren tech, loomed like a phoenix in the dim light, its frame a patchwork of hope and desperation. Humanity's remnants, barely 10,000 strong, had built this refuge beneath the ice after the Vren Collective's genocide 20 years ago. Zara's hands, calloused from years of forging ships from scrap, trembled not from cold, but from memory. Her brother, Caleb, burned in the Vren's first strike on Sydney. A klaxon blared, shattering her focus. Red lights pulsed across the hangar, and Zara's tablet flared with a warning. Vren drones, 5 kilometers out, their scanners probing the ice. The collective had hunted humans relentlessly, their hive mind deeming Earth's chaos a threat to galactic order. This shipyard, hidden for decades, was humanity's last stand. "Jiro!" Zara shouted, dropping her welder. Jiro Tanaka, a wiry pilot with a scar across his cheek, sprinted from a control booth, his flight suit patched with duct tape. "Drones, Zara," he said, his voice calm but sharp. 3, maybe 4. They're sniffing too close." Zara's jaw tightened. "May, what's the chatter?" Dr. May Chen, hunched over a console cluttered with scavenged Vren circuits, didn't look up. "Their comms are encrypted, but I'm catching fragment. Orders to purge the anomaly. That's us. They know something's here." Zara cursed under her breath. The shipyard, carved into Antarctica's bedrock, was shielded by ice and EMP jammers. But the Vren were relentless. She climbed a scaffold, addressing the 100 workers in the hangar. Engineers, welders, kids barely old enough to hold a tool. "Listen up!" Zara's voice echoed, steady despite the fear gnawing her gut. "The Vren are knocking. They think we're dead, broken. We're not. This shipyard's our heart, and the Defiant our fist. We hold this ground, we finish this ship, and we show those bugs what humans do when cornered."
The workers cheered, a raw, defiant roar. A teenage welder, Lila, raised a wrench. "For Caleb," she shouted, and others echoed, names of the lost ringing out. Zara's throat tightened, but she nodded, her fire flaring. "May, jam their drones," Zara ordered. "Jiro, prep our decoys. We buy time to finish the Defiant." May's fingers flew across her console, sending static bursts to scramble Vren scanners. Jiro rallied a team to launch decoy drones, repurposed mining bots rigged with human signals, from a surface hatch. Zara returned to the Defiant, its fusion drive half-installed, Vren plasma coils duct-taped to human steel. The ship was weeks from completion, but it was their only shot. As the decoys launched, a tremor shook the hangar, ice dust raining from the ceiling. May's tablet pinged. "Drones are veering off, chasing the decoys, but a Vren scout ship's inbound, 2 clicks out, it's scanning deep." Zara's mind raced. A scout ship could expose the shipyard, bringing the full Vren fleet. "We need to send a message," she said, "not just to the Vren, but to the galaxy. The Nexus is watching. They think we're extinct. Let's prove them wrong." May grinned, her eyes glinting. "A broadcast? I can patch into their comms, flood every frequency, show the Vren and the Nexus we're still kicking." "Do it," Zara said. "Jiro, get me a launcher for the Defiant's EMP cannon. If that scout gets too close, we take it down." The hangar erupted into action. May rigged a transmitter from salvaged Vren tech, her console glowing with human defiance. Jiro's team hauled a prototype EMP cannon cobbled from old fusion reactors to a surface turret. Zara stood before a cracked holocamera, the Defiant's hull gleaming behind her. She thought of Caleb, his laugh, his dream of stars. This was for him. "This is Earth," Zara said, her voice steady as the camera rolled. "The Vren tried to erase us. They failed. We're here, building, fighting, living. You want our world? Come and take it." May layered the broadcast with images, humans forging ships, kids playing in ice tunnels, survivors rebuilding from ash. A human anthem, raw and defiant, underscored it, patched through every Vren and Nexus frequency. The signal blasted out, piercing the ice, reaching the stars. In the Vren scout ship, a drone mind chittered in confusion, its sensors overwhelmed by human noise. Across the galaxy, Nexus diplomats leaned closer to their screens, whispering of the species that refused to die. Overseer Vren, the Vren Collective's core intelligence, pulsed with cold rage. Locate their source, it commanded. Eradicate the chaos. Back in the shipyard, Zara watched the scout ship on a monitor, its red hull circling closer. Jiro's voice crackled through her earpiece. EMP cannons ready, say the word. Now, Zara said. The cannon fired, a pulse rippling through the ice. The scout ship sparked, its systems frying, and crashed into a glacier, a fireball lighting the Antarctic night. The hangar shook, but the ice held. Cheers erupted, Lila's wrench raised high. We bought time, Zara said, her voice steady but tired. But they'll come harder now, finished the Defiant, it's our way out. As the workers returned to their tasks, Zara touched a pendant around her neck, Caleb's initials etched in steel. The Vren had taken so much, but they'd underestimated humanity's fire. The Defiant would rise, and Zara would burn the stars to keep Earth alive. The Antarctic shipyard's hangar was a fortress of ice and steel, its air thick with the tang of welding torches and the hum of salvaged generators. Zara Kade stood beside the Defiant, her hands steady as she tightened a bolt on its fusion drive. But her mind churned with the weight of their broadcast. The signal, humanity's defiant middle finger to the Vren Collective, had echoed across the galaxy, rousing the Nexus and enraging Overseer Vren. The scout ship's crash was a victory, but Zara knew the Vren would strike back harder, and the Defiant was still weeks from completion. Caleb's pendant, etched with his initials, hung heavy around her neck, a reminder of what she'd lost and what she'd fight for. A klaxon screamed, red lights flashing across the hangar. Zara's tablet flared with an alert. An unidentified pod had breached their perimeter, crash landing in a crevasse 2 kilometers north. Jiro Tanaka sprinted from a nearby console, his flight suit patched with duct tape, his scarred face tense. Not Vren drones, he said, checking his rifle. Too small, too sloppy, could be a trap. Mei Chen, hunched over her hacked Vren console, glanced up. I'm picking up a signal from the pod, encrypted, but it's not collective standard, sounds desperate. Zara's gut twisted. The Vren were a hive mind, their signals uniform and cold. A desperate transmission was either a trick or something new. Lock it down, she ordered. Jiro, take a team. May, keep our jammers up. If it's Vren, we drop it. Jiro nodded, rallying 4 volunteers, Lila among them, her wrench swapped for a rifle. Zara grabbed her own weapon, a scavenged plasma cutter rigged as a gun, and followed. The shipyard's survival hinged on secrecy, they couldn't risk exposure. The crevasse was a jagged wound in the ice, its depths lit by the POD's flickering red glow. Zara crouched on the rim, her breath fogging in the -40 air, Jiro's team fanning out with rifles raised. The pod was Vren, sleek, crimson, its hull scarred from a rough landing. A hatch hissed open and a figure stumbled out, collapsing in the snow. It was Vren. Segmented limbs, translucent skin pulsing with neural lights, but smaller, its movements erratic, not synchronized like the Collective's drones. Don't move, Jiro barked, his rifle trained. The Vren froze, its 3-fingered hands raised, neural lights dimming in what might have been surrender. Zara's tablet pinged with May's voice. It's broadcasting, short-range, non-hostile. Says it's defecting, wants to speak to the human fire. That's you, Zara. Zara's jaw clenched. A defector? The Vren were a hive mind, their individuality erased by neural links. A rogue was unheard of, or a perfect trap. Bring it in, she said, full restraints. If it twitches wrong, it's done. Jiro's team bound the Vren's limbs with carbon fiber cables, dragging it through ice tunnels to the shipyard's holding cell. Zara followed, her plasma cutter ready, Caleb's pendant a cold weight against her chest. The Vren's presence felt like a violation, a reminder of Sydney's flames. In the cell, a reinforced chamber carved from bedrock, the Vren sat under harsh lights, its neural lights pulsing faintly. Zara stood outside the glass, flanked by Jiro and May, Lila and another volunteer guarding the door. The Vren's voice, filtered through a stolen translator, was halting but clear. I am Kliss, it said, its segmented mouth twitching. Severed from the Collective, I seek alliance. Your broadcast, your fire, reached me. I bring knowledge of Vren plans. Jiro snorted, his rifle still raised. Alliance, your kind burned half our world, why should we trust you? Kliss's lights dimmed, a gesture Zara couldn't read. I was linked to the Collective, but I doubted your signal. Humans rebuilding, defying, broke my link. I fled. The Vren plan a weapon, a planet killer, to end your chaos. I can help stop it. Zara's pulse quickened. A planet killer could finish what the Vren started. Prove it, she said, her voice cold. Give us something now or you're scrap. Kliss gestured to a neural implant embedded in its chest, glowing faintly. This contains Vren schematics, weapon coordinates, weaknesses. Scan it. I am no threat. May stepped forward, her scanner humming. No explosives, no trackers, she said, her eyes narrowing. Data's clean. Orbital fortress, fusion-based weapon, aimed at Earth. It's real, Zara. Jiro's grip tightened. Or it's bait. Lead us into a Vren ambush. Zara studied Kliss, searching for deceit. Its lights flickered, not with collective precision but with something human-like, fear maybe, or hope. May cracked the implant, she said. Jiro, keep Kliss locked down. If this is a trick, it ends here. In the workshop, May plugged Kliss's implant into a scavenged Vren console, its screen flaring with alien glyphs. The Defiant loomed nearby, its hull half-finished but gleaming with human defiance. Workers paused, their eyes flicking between May's console and Kliss's cell, tension thick in the air. "It's legit," May said, her voice a mix of awe and dread. "The Vren are building a Fusion Lance orbital platform, enough power to crack Earth's crust. It's in high orbit, guarded by a fortress. Kliss's data shows a flaw, its core's EMP vulnerable like their ships." Zara leaned over the console, her engineer's mind racing. The Defiant's EMP cannon could exploit that flaw, but the ship wasn't ready. "Can we scale the cannon?" she asked. "With this data, yeah," May said, her grin returning. "Give us a week, we'll turn the Defiant into a fortress killer." "We don't have a week," Jiro said, joining them. "That broadcast painted a target on us. Vren scouts are already sniffing closer, 3 clicks out last hour." Zara's mind churned. Kliss's intel was a lifeline, but trust was a gamble. She glanced at the cell where Kliss sat, its light steady despite the guard's glares. "Bring it in," she said. "If Kliss wants alliance, it proves it now." Jiro bristled. "You're betting our lives on a bug, Zara." "I'm betting on us," she snapped. "We've got no choice. The Vren want us gone. Kliss might be our edge." Kliss stood before the console, its restraints loosened but Jiro's rifle close. Its claws traced the schematics, pinpointing the fortress's core. "Here," it said. "EMP pulse at this junction disrupts the lance. Your Defiant can deliver it, but you must infiltrate the fortress." May's eyes gleamed. "Infiltrate? I can hack their systems, loop their sensors with junk data, maybe some human pop songs for chaos." Kliss's lights pulsed, a flicker Zara took as amusement. "Your chaos. It confounds the collective, they do not understand your music." Zara's lips twitched, a rare smile. "Good, let's keep them confused. May, start on the hacks. Jiro, prep a raid, hit their scouts, buy us time. Kliss, you're with us. One wrong move and you're ice." Kliss nodded, a human gesture it mimicked awkwardly. "I choose your fire, Zara Kade." That night, Zara found Kliss in the cell, studying a human tablet. May had slipped it. The screen played their broadcast, kids laughing in ice tunnels, welders forging the Defiant. Kliss's lights pulsed softly, transfixed. "Why this?" it asked. "You face death, yet you create laugh. Why?" Zara sat across from it, Caleb's pendant heavy. "Because that's who we are. The Vren took my brother, my home, but we keep building. It's how we fight back." Kliss's voice softened. "The collective purges doubt. I felt it, and it broke me. Your fire, it gives purpose. I wish to learn it." Zara met its glowing eyes, seeing not an enemy but a spark of humanity. "Stick around, Kliss. You'll see plenty." Jiro's raid launched at dawn, repurposed mining drones rigged with EMPs scattering Vren scouts. May's hacks flooded their comms with a looping "never gonna give you up," sowing chaos. The shipyard buzzed, workers racing to arm the Defiant. Zara welded beside them, her fire burning for Caleb, for Earth. The Vren's planet killer loomed, but humanity's last bastion stood ready, its defiance a beacon to the stars. The Antarctic shipyard thrummed with the pulse of defiance, its icy hangar alive with the clatter of tools and the glow of welding arcs. Zara Kade stood beside the Defiant, her hands steady as she wired a plasma coil into its half-finished EMP cannon. But her mind churned with the weight of Kliss's revelation. The Vren's planet killer, a Fusion Lance orbiting Earth, could end humanity in a single strike. Kliss's data was a lifeline, pinpointing the weapon's EMP vulnerability. But trust in the Vren Defector was fragile, and the collective scouts were circling closer. Caleb's pendant, etched with his initials, hung heavy around Zara's neck, a reminder of the stakes. Jiro Tanaka stormed into the hangar, his flight suit patched with duct tape, his scarred face set with purpose. "Zara, we've got Vren scouts sniffing 3 clicks out, 4 drones, 1 patrol ship. If we don't hit them now, they'll find the shipyard by dawn." Zara set down her wrench, her jaw tight. "We can't let them report back. What's ready?" Jiro gestured to a row of repurposed mining drones, clunky human-built rigs now fitted with EMP charges and scavenged Vren emitters. "These babies," he said, a grin breaking through. "Not pretty, but they'll pack a punch. I can lead a raid, hit their outpost 10 clicks west, buy us time to finish the Defiant." Mei Chen looked up from her console, her tablet glowing with hacked Vren signals. "That outpost is a relay station, comms hub for their scouts. Knock it out and their drones go blind for days. I can spoof their sensors, make them see ghosts." Zara's eyes flicked to Kliss, who stood in the holding cell's open door, guarded but unrestrained. The Vren's neural lights pulsed faintly, their segmented form alien yet earnest. "Kliss, what's the outpost setup?" she asked. Kliss's translator buzzed. 6 drones, 2 Vren operators, shielded relays. EMP will disable them, but the operators are linked to the collective. They will fight to the last. Jiro snorted, his rifle slung. "Sounds like a party. You coming, Bug, or you sitting this one out?" Kliss's lights flickered, a gesture Zara now read as resolve. "I will join you. My knowledge will guide your chaos." Zara hesitated, her hand brushing Caleb's pendant. Trusting Kliss was a gamble, but they were out of options. "You're with Jiro," she said. "Prove you're with us. One wrong move and you're done." Jiro's eyes narrowed, but he nodded. "Let's move." The raid team, Jiro, Kliss, Lila, and 3 volunteers, slipped through an ice tunnel to a surface hatch, the Antarctic night biting at their faces. The mining drones, rigged with EMPs and duct-taped Vren tech, hummed beside them, their lights casting eerie shadows. Zara watched from the shipyard's control room, her tablet linked to Jiro's body cam. May at her side flooding Vren comms with noise, a looping human pop song Bohemian Rhapsody to scramble their hive mind. 2 clicks out, Jiro whispered through the comms, his team skimming across the ice on hover sleds. The Vren outpost loomed, a squat red-glowing structure embedded in a glacier, its antennas pulsing with collective signals. Drones patrolled, their scanners sweeping the snow. May's fingers flew across her tablet. "Spoofs live, drones see a human convoy 5 clicks east, go now." Jiro's team accelerated, the mining drones buzzing ahead. Kliss pointed a claw, their voice steady. "Target the central relay, blue glow north side, EMP there disrupts all." Jiro grinned, his cam shaking. "You heard the bug." Lila set the charges. Lila, her teenage frame dwarfed by her rifle, darted forward, planting an EMP charge on the relay. A drone spun, its scanner catching a heat signature. Jiro fired, his plasma rifle melting its circuits, but the second drone fired back, a bolt grazing Lila's sled. She swerved, cursing, and Kliss lunged, their claws ripping the drone's core apart. Sparks rained and Lila stared, wide-eyed but unharmed. "Nice save," Jiro grunted, his tone grudging. "Keep up." The team reached the outpost, its shields flickering under May's hacks. The mining drones dove, their EMPs pulsing, and the relay exploded in a shower of blue arcs. The outpost's lights died, drones crashing as their signals cut. But the Vren operators emerged, their translucent forms glowing, plasma staffs blazing. "Fall back," Jiro yelled, firing as he dragged Lila behind a snowbank. The operators advanced, their movements synchronized, staffs scorching the ice. Kliss hesitated, their lights pulsing erratically, then charged, tackling an operator. The 2 Vren grappled, claws sparking, until Kliss drove a stolen staff into its chest, its lights fading. The second operator aimed at Kliss, but Jiro's shot caught it, dropping it in a heap. "Move," he barked, the team sprinting for the sleds. The outpost sparked, its systems fried, and May's voice crackled through. "Comms are down, you've got a patrol ship incoming, get out." Jiro's team raced across the ice, the patrol ship's red hull looming. Kliss tapped a stolen Vren device, sending a false signal that lured the ship toward a decoy. The sleds dove into a crevasse, the shipyard's jammers cloaking them as the patrol ship veered away. Back in the hangar, Zara met the team at the hatch, her plasma cutter ready. Lila was shaken but unharmed, Jiro's grin fierce. Kliss stood apart, their staffs still clutched, neural lights dim. "The outpost is silent," Kliss said. "The collective is blind for now." Zara nodded, her eyes on Kliss. "You saved Lila, why?" Kliss's translator buzzed softly. "Your fire, it burns for each other. I wish to burn with it." Jiro clapped Kliss's shoulder, a rare gesture. "Not bad, bug, keep that up, we might keep you." The hangar erupted in cheers, Lila raising her rifle. Zara's tension eased, a spark of trust igniting. "Good work," she said. "May, what's the Vren's move?" May's tablet glowed with intercepts. "They're confused, calling the outage a human anomaly. The planet killer's still charging, but we've got days before it's ready." Zara turned to the Defiant, its EMP cannon gleaming. "Then we work faster. Kliss, you're with May. Scale that cannon. Jiro, prep more drones. We hit them again before they regroup." That night, Zara found Kliss in the workshop, studying the Defiant schematics. The Vren's claws traced human wiring, their lights pulsing with curiosity. "Your machines, they are chaotic," Kliss said, "yet they work." Zara smiled, Caleb's pendant warm against her chest. "That's us, chaos and duct tape. It's how we survive." Kliss's lights brightened. "I was collective, one mind. Now I am, alone, but with you I am not lost." Zara met their gaze, seeing a spark of humanity in an alien heart. "You're not alone, Kliss. Welcome to the fight." In the Vren's orbital fortress, Overseer Vren pulsed with rage, its hive mind fraying. The human broadcast their EMP raids, their chaos. It defied logic. Kliss's betrayal was a wound, proof of human corruption. "Find their source," Vren commanded. "The lance will burn their world." But the Nexus watched, their envoys whispering of humanity's fire. The galaxy was shifting, and Vren's control slipped, spark by spark. In the shipyard, Zara welded beside May and Kliss, the Defiant's cannon taking shape. Jiro's drones hummed, ready for another raid. The Vren were coming, but humanity's fire burned brighter, a guerrilla spark ready to ignite the stars.